Hey everybody, this is Doa, and we are back with Game 2 between KawaiiRice spawning as our yellow Terran player on the left side of GSL dual site, and on the right side he is going up against 6 Jack's DDE again, and that command center's already on fire. Oh man, I forgot about that. Every time I see that on this map it makes me laugh, how the command center's like actually on top of burning ground. That doesn't seem safe one bit. So DDE took down KawaiiRice last game in a pretty convincing fashion. I mean, he just did a ton of damage early on with that early Banshees and everything like that. KawaiiRice just didn't have what he needed to handle it. And from there, I mean, it's really tough to go bio against someone who's going mech after taking so much early economic damage. And look at that. he says he's not having fun. I can't blame him. Didn't look like a very fun game to play from KawaiiRice's standpoint. Wants Marine tank back, apparently. Alright, well, whatever you say. I prefer mech. I prefer watching mech. It's more exciting. I actually did a survey the other day on my Twitter, which you guys can follow me at DOASC on Twitter, and I did a survey to see what sort of builds, what sort of styles people enjoy watching the most. Not necessarily playing, but watching the most. And in TVT, a lot of people in mech, actually in pretty much every matchup, people picked mech over bio, which kind of interested me. I mean, just because most people would prefer to play bio, so I don't know. Interesting little anecdote there, I guess. But looks like DDE could definitely be going mech this game. He's getting that gas after the barracks. Not quite as fast as before. Didn't go gas first this time around. KawaiiRice looking like he's probably going to 1-racks expand against. I mean, that's kind of his thing. You know, he does like to go for the bio. He is known for it, of course. And he's known for it because he's extremely good at it, too. So, nothing at all wrong with that. But, you know, DDE is going to scout. He's going to know exactly what's going on. So we'll have to see what he decides to do to kind of cater his build against that. And I'm getting excited, guys, as I'm casting. This MLG is about a week away. Can't wait to go watch some more of that. I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to watch it online. Of course, I'm in Korea right now casting the GSL, which is also fun. It's good, too. Yep, there's a command center for KawaiiRice. Marine kind of hanging out the ramp there. On dual side has those weird unclickable sheep. Oh! SCP fight in the middle of the map. Hanging out by the ice gateway. That's the ice gateway. This is, of course, the fire gateway. In case you guys were wondering. Yep, there's an unclickable sheep. Why can you not click on those sheep? I don't know. It's kind of strange. You can click on the scantipedes, man. And looks like DDE might actually be going for a reactor Hellion expand here. I mean, he's got the factory right next to the barracks. So it's building said reactor. Wouldn't be too surprising to see that. And I do kind of like reactor Hellion in TVT. Lets you put some pressure on your opponent with those Hellions. Lets you do some scouting. And if your opponent just has Marines like KawaiiRice has, there's not a whole lot he can do to you. So there's some definite advantages for doing that. But, you know, we'll have to see as well how aggressive DDE wants to be. Oh no! The barracks landing for a second, then taking off, then landing again. Which, you know, I think any Terran player will tell you is probably one of the most annoying things in the world. But, you know, saying things like that kind of sounds like those first world problems that people talk about on Twitter, you know, where it's like actually not a problem, it's actually not a huge inconvenience at all, where certain players are like, man, if I made drones at the wrong time, instead of units, I just die. And Terran's like, oh, I hate it when I lift my buildings off and then they accidentally land again and I have to lift them off one more time before I move them. That's rough. It's Terran and their first world problems. And that's why I play Terran. Hee hee. LOL. Alright, so these Hellions gonna poke up, trying to do a little bit of scouting with KawaiiRice. That's a really nice concave with those Marines, so these Hellions are not going to be able to do really anything at all. Now, I wonder if you're targeting something beyond the unclickable sheep, if you can still hit said unclickable sheep. It doesn't have a life bar, so I don't know. Hard to tell, really. Oh, try to do a bit of pushing. There's a good amount of Hellions here, but yeah, the concave for KawaiiRice is just way too good. And DDE does need to pull back. Nice job there. And the slow is a really good idea too. I think with KawaiiRice, he'll be able to slow those Hellions down. You know, not let them do any damage at all. Getting that pretty quick engineering bay as well, which would be nice for getting upgrades. I mean, if you're going to go bio against mech, you need to have really good upgrades. You need to have a lot of bio really fast. So I think KawaiiRice is actually going to just take out a couple of these Hellions. Or, nope, barely a getaway. Slow does definitely cause DDE to kind of think twice about that in the future, though, I'm sure. And yeah, looks like DDE will be going mech again. Awesome. Love watching mech. This time deciding to go for siege mode first rather than blue flame. I think with those marauders out there that do have the slow upgrade, that's definitely a better idea. Alright. And KawaiiRice actually taking a little bit of an early supply lead. Normally if your economy isn't absolutely like dismantled like it was in the first game, you can get that early supply lead just because your units will produce a little bit faster than your opponent. But you know, that can shift later in the game just because the mech units are such high on supply. So high rather. Alright, so it looks like DDE just wants to play pretty defensive right now. Once the blue flame upgrade finishes here, he might decide to get a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, doing some dropping here. And this drop might get there right before blue flame, so I wonder if he wants to maybe wait for that timing to be a little bit better. Excuse me. And some Hellions pressuring from the front as well. And this may actually work out just right. Yeah, Hellions coming in from the front. A little bit early there, distracting KawaiiRice while the Hellions come in from behind. But look at this. Oh, this is really nice. KawaiiRice with a really great sort of ring of supply depots, making it so the Hellions can't really get around and do damage. Look at this building placement. This is great. It's like a little trap for drops. That's awesome. So KawaiiRice, I mean, I was telling you guys, if there's anybody that knows how to go bio against mech, it's definitely KawaiiRice. Hellions landing again, doing a little bit more damage, but still not able to do too much just because of that building placement. Units for KawaiiRice there to defend don't hurt at all, I'm sure, as well. Yeah, look at this. KawaiiRice making it very difficult for Hellions to come in. Look at this, walling off basically everything around here, keeping this entire side of his base safe. Very cool stuff from KawaiiRice. And then just keeping his units down here. So, I mean, that's great. You've got your buildings here to kind of slow the drops down so your units can get there, and then your units can kind of stay here and defend your natural. Now DD is going to scan this. Oh, another Hellion drop. Didn't quite work out too well. Kind of wondering about the scan a little bit, wondering what DDE was kind of looking for. I feel like he should sort of know what KawaiiRice is doing, but I don't know. Let's take a look at the worker count right now. DD actually a little bit behind, 48 to 52. Doesn't really matter all that much. But the issue with mech is that you kind of, other than the Hellions, are very immobile, you know? You can't really go anywhere with this force. You're going to have to kind of defend a little bit, sit back, make sure that when you do decide to move out, you're in a better position. In a position where the bio can't come in from behind. Look at this, another wall of supply depots going down for KawaiiRice. Continuing to keep things safe from Hellions. Looks like DD might decide to do a bit of a drop here on these Hellions. Hellions that are trying to jump into medevacs that are already flying here. It's a pretty funny sight. Alright, so the drop going that way, and DDE trying to poke in here, but he's not going to be able to do any damage there. And if he can get in behind, he might be able to kill some SCVs. Oh, it's very close. It's very close. DDE trying to distract it. Hellions landing right here. This is actually going to kill possibly a good amount of SCVs. Nope. It's actually going to pick up and go into the main now. And now the army for KawaiiRice is slightly out of position. Oh, 2 Hellions on the high ground, 2 on the low ground. I like that. Those aren't going to do anything. These guys are actually not going to do anything either because there's Marauders in the mineral lines. Look at that. KawaiiRice. Very, very prepared for those drops. Very nice job there. And clickable sheep being protected from above by the factory. And it looks like KawaiiRice is about ready to move out right now. He's about 20 supply ahead, too. Might be a little bit difficult to attack into what DDE has, although DDE doesn't really have as many tanks as I kind of thought he would at this point. A little bit surprised. There's the 2 armories going down for DDE to get those upgrades rolling. KawaiiRice does scan and see this, and I think he's going to want to go right in there. Okay, it does see the tanks coming down now. Yep, scanning again just to make sure there's not some more stuff that I didn't see. Alright, DDE counter scanning. Look at the army of KawaiiRice. DDE with a good amount of command centers too. He's going to want to try to expand and basically take this entire part of the map and be just really positional with the siege tanks, which you can do. But we'll have to see how well this all works. I mean, KawaiiRice has kept himself much more defended this game than he did last game. Been doing a much better job. And let's just check the upgrades. It's 0-1 right now for KawaiiRice. For the bio and for the mech, it's 0-0 just because those armories did just finish for KawaiiRice. He's getting 1-1, or for DDE, I'm sorry, for 1-1 right now. And what is this? Oh boy, it is a fusion core going down. That's right. Some Banshees, and we are going to see battle cruisers. I'm so excited about this now. This is a really interesting transition from KawaiiRice, going from bio into battle cruiser. I really wonder how well this is going to work. This is pretty cool. Some exciting stuff on the way. It's going to be very interesting. And a lot of Hellions here. And this is enough Hellions to take out that small group of bio and also kill all the SCVs. So this base is going to get shut down for the moment anyway. Yep. And more Hellions trying to get into the natural. But look at that. Just such a great wall of supply depots. The Hellions kind of having to funnel through there. Not really able to do a lot of damage. It's got to be frustrating for DDE continuously trying to get in there to do damage and not being able to do it. Oh, and this bio might intercept these Hellions if DDE is not careful. Yeah, he does scan to see him. He's going to go around. Wants to keep those Hellions alive. But where are the battle cruisers? That's what I'm wondering. He's got enough to produce 2 right now. Excuse me. Throat's a little bit scratchy this morning, apparently. Gotta love the Terran music. I don't know. Just fun. I'll try not to sing along with it in the future, though. That's probably really annoying as a viewer. I'll avoid that. Don't worry. Alright, yeah, I mean, the thing that's been really impressive this game to me is just KawaiiRice's ability to keep DDE from doing any damage at all with these Hellions. Yeah, cleaning those up a little bit, KawaiiRice has to lift and run with those. And yeah, we was going to go ahead and expand here, but the command center's like, nope, not going to do that. So now, suddenly KawaiiRice stuck on 2 bases, I mean, no, DDE rather, stuck on 2 bases. KawaiiRice expanding to his 3rd, staying relatively safe there too. And yeah, the battlecruisers are on the way right now. Nice little air force building up for KawaiiRice, but does DDE see it? I kind of wonder if he scanned it. Oh, he did scan. He saw the fusion core and everything. So cool. So DDE is going to have some time to prepare. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and start making Vikings out of this. Well, he's been making Vikings for a while, but oh, actually, no, he hasn't. Most mech players do like to get, a good amount of Vikings to secure that air advantage, but DDE has not been making Vikings, and that could be one of the reasons why we saw KawaiiRice go for the battlecruisers, is because he saw DDE did have that lack of Vikings. Oh, look at this, KawaiiRice catching some of the tanks off guard. I don't know if this is going to be the best idea, though. He's going to take a lot of damage to the bio. Yes, he does, but at the very least, he's going to be able to deny this expansion. That's really the important part. It's a nice job by KawaiiRice there, and all he has to do, it's really important right now that KawaiiRice keeps this bio force alive. He needs it to kind of harry and hamper the forces of DDE while he gets enough battlecruisers to come in and do some damage. See how all that works? Yeah, look at that, producing 5. Wow, producing 2 battlecruisers and 5 Vikings at once. Interesting. Alright, these SCVs being very lazy right now. And both players about even on supply too. I mean, KawaiiRice just has the map control right now. He's in a better position, really. And, if DDE can't prepare adequately for those battlecruisers, he could be in a bit of trouble. Behemoth reactor being researched too. We're going to see some Yamatoing, I'm guessing. Can Yamato some Thors if possible. So this game, while it's kind of in a lull right now, is shaping up to be possibly pretty exciting in the future. Oh, nice. What is this thing? I never saw this before. It looks like one of those Xel'Naga artifacts. Quite possible. Air upgrades being upgraded by DDE as well. But is it going to be enough? Here come the battle cruisers, the Vikings, and the Banshees for KawaiiRice. And DDE does not have a lot of anti-air right now. He just has one turret. KawaiiRice scanning just to see exactly what he has. He will see those Vikings. But you know what? I think KawaiiRice is going to be okay. I think he's got the air advantage here. So we need to be careful about that Thor. That's kind of a big thing to worry about. But, you know, he does have... Actually, he doesn't have Yamato quite yet. Oh, he does have Yamato. Yamatoing that Thor. That Thor is dead. And look at that, KawaiiRice with the air advantage and the battle cruisers. KawaiiRice actually is in a great position right now. He's going to be able to deny this third at the very least. And there's not a lot DDE has to respond to this right now. In fact, yeah, DDE knows that he's just going to go for it. We might have kind of a crazy base race on our hands right now. Oh, man. Bio going to try to intercept some of the tanks for DDE. Every tank that KawaiiRice can kill is going to be very, very valuable. Yeah, all the SCVs going as well. So this is definitely going to be a situation where DDE is going to just try to win. Stimming in, trying to take out some of the tanks right there. A lot of the SCVs being taken out. Here come the Vikings as well. DDE sieging up, and KawaiiRice needs to be very careful. Okay, pulling back. I think that's a good decision. He can just sack the third. That's absolutely okay. Here come the battle cruisers. And the Vikings be able to kind of keep that air advantage, and there's nothing that DDE has to contest these battle cruisers right now. There's absolutely nothing he can do. So I think KawaiiRice actually might have this game won right now. Yeah, the Bio going back up to take out this third base again. It is a planetary, but the Bio's going to be able to take it out pretty quickly. Yeah, stimming in to take that down. And the tanks for DDE making a run for it, dwindling very, very quickly. KawaiiRice getting so far ahead on supply right now. And yeah, I think this is going to be the end of the game fairly quickly here. Yeah, DDE not going to be able to do anything. GG, and KawaiiRice, a pretty tricky switch to air. Took out that game 2, so we are all tied up here as 1-1 with KawaiiRice versus DDE. Let's get into game 3. Can't wait to see who wins.